This is a landmark election. This is a turning point in American history. Now, I know you hear politicians and you hear, orators get up and say rather dramatic and sweeping things like this all the time. I've never said that before. I've been involved in races for 22 years now. Ran my first race for Congress back in 1990 at the ripe old age of 32. And I never said this was the most important election, and heck, I was on the ballot. And I went from election to election. I never felt that things were bad, things were difficulties in the economy in the early 90s, and we had difficulties on national security issues, obviously, around the events of 9/11. But I never felt that something fundamental was at a tipping point. And I believe that. I think Barack Obama has done a real great favor for the country. And I say that in all sincerity. For a long time in this country, we have been on a very slow road, as von Hayek says, to serfdom. We've been on a slow road to gradually giving our freedoms away, gradually believing the siren song that the government can do better for us than we can do for ourselves. It is inevitable. Our founders understood that. When they established freedom, many wrote that it was the easiest part in some respects was to establish freedom. The hardest part would be to maintain it over this corrosive thing in society called time. That the farther away you are from the light and the spark that created this great country, the harder it is to have the zeal of the founders to maintain the great principles upon which our country was founded upon. We have been blessed in this country with enormous success. Let's just be honest. We changed the world. America changed the world. At the time of our founding, life expectancy in the United States, as it was in most of the world, was around 35 to 40 years of age. We were an agrarian society. Just to give you a perspective on that, you go back to the time of Jesus Christ, life expectancy was 35 to 40 years of age, and they were an agrarian society. Had the world changed much in 1776 years? A little, not much. And in 200 years, after America did something truly revolutionary, gave the world a document, a template to transform society. Something unheard of and unknown in the course of human history. Something that we don't even talk about much in this country. We ignore. We don't even teach it in most of our schools anymore. This revolutionary document called what? Not the Constitution. Wrong answer. The Declaration of Independence. And I asked that question of you because I knew most of you would say the Constitution. The Constitution is a great document. It's the operator's manual of America. But it is not who we are. Who we are is in the Declaration of Independence. What makes America special, different, is in the Declaration of Independence. And these words, which we all know, at least we all used to know, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are words that would roll off the tongue of every citizen in this country for decades. They were at the core of the understanding of what it meant to be an American. Being an American is not like being French. And I'm not poking the French. Although I don't mind poking the French, I'm not poking the French. It's not like being British. It's not like being Italian. It's not like being Jewish or Arabic. If you're an Iranian, you're an Iranian, or you're a Chaldean or an Assyrian because of an ethnicity. American is not an ethnicity. We're all hyphenated Americans. What makes you an American? My grandfather and father came to this country, and when they stepped on the shore of America, they became an American. Why? Because they believed a certain set of values. Being an American is about accepting a certain set of ideals. America is an ideal. You can go to France and spend 50 years in France, and if you're not a French person, you'll never be French. You may speak beautiful French, but you will never be French. You can be here for 30 seconds and be an American. That's what makes us different, because we are something different in the world. We are a country that's based on a set of ideas and ideals and principles. And when people say, we want to change and transform America, that means you're fundamentally taking away what, for a long period of time in the history of our country, was the core of who we are. And that is the Declaration.